This podcast is proudly brought to you by Ravine Purified Water. Rethink your lifestyle.
Greetings, Africa. My name is Nyazungu. Welcome to Jailbreak Africa. This is a program where we discuss everything business, and we want to build our economy in Africa. And our wish, and our simple wish, is to have Africa as the number one continent. We have got a lot of resources, natural resources. We've got a good climate, but Africa is still the last continent. So today I'm super excited. I'm joined by one of the senior executives, the managing consultant / director of the company called M&J. And today we're just going to talk about systems. Hi, Tabu.
Hello, Jerry. How is it?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
I'm perfect. I'm happy to be here.
Fine. That's
Sure.
okay. So today I want to talk about something which I've noticed about Africa. I've been exposed to different countries as well. And you notice that when you get into countries like South Africa, just look at their malls. When you're getting into a mall, you actually have to pay into a certain machine and to get access. There's no one to take your money, but you pay to a machine, you put your coins, your rands, then you're given access. When you're also coming out, the same thing. So, in terms of systems, because what I noticed is Africa, when WhatsApp came, I think initially it was Facebook. Facebook, we called it's for Satanists.
Exactly.
WhatsApp, we also said this is Satanism. There's no way you can speak to someone at that cheaper amount of money.
Exactly.
So I understand that you are so exposed into dealing with companies. Do companies in Zimbabwe or in Africa, I also know that you guys are in Zambia, and you also assist the companies in South Africa and Dubai. Are Africans embracing technology?
Thank you so much, Jerry. You know, it's so much heartbreaking how much we are so much behind as Africans, particularly when you talk of Zimbabwe, Zambia, probably South Africa is a little bit ahead. But you look at, I would actually make it in this way. We as business people, we are more of dealers rather than business people. We don't even get to appreciate the need of having systems or business systems within our organization. As long as you are having money, as long as they are counting cash, hard cash, they are okay. You know what? Everything is just centered on them. They don't want to even invest in those systems. Because I'll give you one example. You know, I have got a nephew who is running a very good business, and I was advising him about investing in systems, and I was so heartbroken when he actually advised me, no, you know what, uncle, as long as I want to open another branch, I'll first consult the prophets there at the church. They'll tell us that, no, a thumbs up, you can now open another branch. But you know, that's how Africans we are. We rely more on the religious side of things. We think that things will just happen on their own. But as Africans, I think we should start embracing business systems.
Okay. When we're talking of business systems and they're talking of technology, I think these things are intertwined. They're different because a system is just a systematic way of doing things.
Sure.
For example, if you're saying you start work at 7 o'clock, it becomes a system. But the question now is, how can we automate whatever we've been doing manually? And if you notice that, I think there's a lot of new entrepreneurs who are coming into even I've noticed that even the new entrepreneurs, even the big companies, they are not embracing the technology which is coming with business system. Where is the real challenge? Is it, yes, you mentioned the dealers, but is it, where is the fear or is ignorance? Is it fear? Is it ignorance? Is it lack of knowledge? Because I also understand that there are people who are actually into deals, big deals, who are actually dealers in America, or dealers in UK, probably dealers in China, but why are we allergic to technology?
No, I would actually put it in this way. It's actually a combination of both. Ignorance as well. You know what? Everything is just centered on us. We believe as long as I'm not here,
Nothing must
nothing must actually move on. Right now, we are here sitting talking. My phone should have been ringing so many times
so
because
that I feel powerful.
I feel powerful. I'm in control of my business. So you know that fear that as long as I'm not there, there's something that is going to happen with my business. But in actual fact, we have got even a high propensity here of expanding, even opening branches without even analyzing things. But one thing for sure, you cannot be everywhere as a business
impossible.
owner. It's impossible. But through these systems, if we knew how much these systems are actually valuable to us, we would actually even invested in them because they actually assist me to be everywhere at the same time. Then that fear as well, you know, as a business person, you know, sometimes some people, they get chances, they are more like chances, they get an opportunity to make money. Then they now that fear that if I'm to include these technological things, and they don't even have that appetite to know and to learn more about them, they will think that you know what, these young generation that are coming with their technology, they will take over and I'll actually have a coup behind my back and my business will actually be stolen away from me. Because that's why they will want to just keep everything under their arms as long as they are not there. The business
But
doesn't
can you
function.
also accuse them? Because what I've noticed is working with a lot of people, are they also wrong to be scared? Are they also wrong to be scared? And how can they actually, yes, as much as people they want to be in control, they can be in control, but whilst they are using technology.
Exactly.
Because I now know that there are also ERP systems whereby you can have control of literally everything.
Everything,
Whether
yes.
it's conversations, whether it's requisitions, whether it's projects, you can know whatever is happening in your company by just a click of a button.
Exactly.
But you still notice that these guys, they don't want to embrace those kind of softwares. Is it because even right now, if you want to, I think you're in that kind of field, when you want to invest, people will say, 5,000. I'd rather buy a Honda Fit
That's a
than
Honda
buying
Fit.
a software.
Exactly.
But if you notice the American companies, the European companies, they would rather invest millions in building a software. Okay, not only companies, not only entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Let us talk about our government in Zimbabwe. I noticed that it was a shocker when I was given business cards with these other directors of a ministry. And they were all in Gmail.
Exactly.
So that's where it starts from.
You know, you have a point there. Actually, right now, you know, even at government level, people are getting paid because of attendance and not productivity. There's no way we can actually even track the productivity of people. You'd actually notice even someone who get in the office, clock in at around 9 or half
Because
9.
there's no system.
Because there's no system that is tracking.
But imagine if there was a biometric.
Someone is just clicking in and it reports
Directly to the payroll, SSB, yeah.
Yes, someone is clocked in at 9:30, and you know at 9:30 it's now towards even tea break. Then someone just tell you, I'm now on tea break. Then after tea break, they just come probably after 11 or
Lunch.
so. 12:30 is now lunch. 3
Half
o'clock.
3, go home.
We are now going home.
Yeah.
And someone is getting paid. You know, that's exactly the same tone that is being set even at government level. That's the same tone that is even in our companies as we speak. People are being paid because of attendance. So that fear of embracing technology is actually, or even, I would not even say fear per se, even the lack of appetite, the lack of desire to invest in business systems. Because that's why you even notice that even if one entrepreneur is to die today, he dies with
Means everything is going to be on hold.
Exactly. And there is not, you know what, we have people right now who are actually even getting to be hostage
Exactly.
by their employees. Because imagine a salesperson, he's now becoming the face of the organization. He's meeting your clients on a daily basis. He's collecting information, important information, because one asset that is very critical for every organization is data or information, clients' information. So he or she is actually collecting, he's using his or her personal phone, collecting the phone numbers, He's the one who is in direct contact. And once you think of firing that person, you think a million times because you think he or she is going to go away with
that whole database.
Whole database of clients, and you are held hostage because you value, you depend more on human beings. You have got people who are running your projects. You are depending on a daily basis. What they are telling you is that exactly what's happening on the ground. You don't know that, so you end up being held hostage by your own employees because you depend more on human beings. So you'd rather have a situation where you would employ even 5 people, where you were supposed not even to employ 5 people. You are met by a security guard at the gate, right? You are met by someone at the door. You are met by someone who is going to direct you where you get the product. You are met by the cashier, and you get searched again or checked at the doorstep when you're actually moving out from the building. So end up investing a lot in human beings rather than just investing in business systems that are going to actually make the smooth running of your organization in terms of your operations.
And I've noticed that human beings, they're bound to make errors.
Exactly.
And human beings can be bribed, but you cannot bribe a machine. There's no way you can bribe a biometric machine, but you can bribe a human being. So in terms of because what I've noticed also is these guys are also ignorant. So how are you going to be, how do you, when let's say this person is a small business, do you think as a small business, I need softwares like customer relationship management software, I need a fleet management software, I need probably to track my vehicles using a certain software. Do you think I'm supposed to be a certain size for me to start embracing softwares, or I'm supposed to start from the foundation?
That's an interesting one, because every time, especially here in Zim, you would actually want to assist a client by implementing a solution, a software for them. One of the major objections that you would get is we are too small. We are too small to actually even run a software, right? And you'd actually now think, when do you think that you'd actually be in a position to get a software? Because you cannot talk of a house or a building without talking about the foundation, which is the most critical part. So many people, they'll think that I'll invest in a software when I'm now even hitting millions of dollars.
That's where now I need to count. But
you'll never reach that million because
you don't have a system.
You don't have a system in place. So you've got a lot of leakages that are happening, which are actually distracting you from actually reaching those 1 million revenue figures that you'd want to actually reach to. So you don't have to be necessarily to be at a certain level for you to actually, the good thing with softwares, you actually talked about ERP. So by ERP, we are saying you are integrating everything under one software. So, with these ERPs that are now coming in place, they are very much scalable. You can even start very cheap. You can even start with one module. For example, you can say, for now, I'm starting with just accounting. Then I'm now moving on to projects. Then I'm now moving on to sales, going on like that. So you don't need necessarily to be a big organization to invest in an ERP software. So the foundation is very critical for you to actually reach that level that you'd want to reach with your company.
So you've heard about that, and you don't need to be a big company to start investing into systems. So we're just going to take a small and short water break, whereby we are drinking from our sponsor, Ravine Water, and we really appreciate them for sponsoring our program. So we'll meet after the break.
Are you failing to make sales? Or do you have a sales team that is failing to meet their targets? The Chartered Vendor Sales Institute is offering an intensive 12-week sales training program designed to offer your sales team with efficient sales skills. The program will include weekly sessions, 2 lecturers, practical exercises, and theory assignments. Through this Sales Institute's training, salespeople will be learning fundamental sales principles from prospecting, follow-up, closing, and negotiation. The grading system is mainly focused on practical exercises, accounting for 70% of your grading mark. Participants also undertake a capstone project to apply to real-life scenarios of what they would be learning, and they stand a chance to be certified by the chartered vendor. The Chartered Vendor Sales Institute is open for individuals and companies, and if you or your team members need to be part of this, you can get in touch on the numbers showing on the screen.
Welcome back to Jailbreak Africa. This is a program where we discuss everything business and how we can emancipate our minds from mental slavery and from economic slavery. So today I've got Mr. Takudzwa Choruwa. We're talking about softwares and systems, and he said something which is profound. You don't need to be big to start having business systems or having softwares in your companies. So that reminds me, when I was in Zambia last week, I noticed that Zambians are now using shops in Zambia. You know that there are a lot of malls in Lusaka. And these malls, most of the malls, they've got, they are occupied by South African companies. You talk of your Mr. Price, you talk of your Pep, you talk of your Gams, we talk of your Truettes and all these other big brands which are there in South Africa. So I noticed there's something which was fascinating as far as point of sales are concerned. They are now using those counters, and the software, the point of sale is actually, so this person is punching on the counter. They no longer have those typical screens. So to me it was, okay, that's where technology is. But you cannot see it everywhere. I haven't seen it in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Zambia. It's just 400 and something kilometers to Lusaka from where we are recording.
Yeah.
So what does it have to say about us as well? Because I noticed that most of the Zimbabweans, they are, and also most of the Zambians, the typical Zambians, these are South African companies
exactly,
which are bringing this kind of technology. But the Zambian-owned companies, they still have got technology which is at par with Zimbabwe. So my question is, what's your view in terms of what does someone need to do? And because probably people don't even know the advantages.
Exactly.
Because we're talking about something probably which is foreign. They don't know the advantages of having a software. Previously, I talked about WhatsApp. When WhatsApp came, I was one of the people who joined late.
Masses.
I still remember by then my girlfriend actually said, I'm now on WhatsApp, so you must switch on WhatsApp so that you communicate easily. Then I'm like, what is that? Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm comfortable with my messages and my phone. But I joined at a later stage. So what are the disadvantages of embracing softwares at a later stage? I was talking about UK, whereby people can now do self-service. No one is assisting you on the till.
Exactly.
You pay your money, then everything is working for you. No one is going to, no attitude which you're going to get from a shopkeeper, nothing. No one you're communicating with, you're communicating with machines. What are the disadvantages of us joining this technology late? As a country, we're talking as a country, government level, and entrepreneurs, and even the startups.
You know what? Time is actually a factor in business, right? 1 hour, that's a lot of time. You know, there are so many huge decisions that are made within 10 minutes that change the whole complex of an organization, right? So you are getting into an environment where there's huge competition. And if you had to look at the companies that are actually thriving, those companies that are ahead, the ones that are actually embracing technology, right? So you look at here, even Zimbabwe, Zambia, African countries, right? Those that are not really embracing technology. You are usually surprised to get a business owner who is happy seeing people killed and saying, no, things are moving.
These are moving.
Because he's actually seeing people queued and saying, no,
Exactly.
customers are
At
coming.
least people are coming.
At least people are coming. But
Business is booming.
exactly. And you actually think that even if you get into a shop that is embracing technology, you don't see people queued and think things are not moving. Yet those people are actually ahead. They are saving more clients within a minute. You have to save probably one client or even 5 minutes plus saving one client. So people, they easily get frustrated with that kind of services as well. So if you actually don't embrace technology, because you know what, people, they've got money out there, real money, and they're willing to spend as long as they feel that there is value for their money from the service that they're going to get. So after embracing technology, someone, even the product or the service itself is of a lower value. Someone might even be willing to even pay more because of the environment or the technology that he or she is actually getting exposed to during the buying process. So embracing technology late, obviously, your business, you're actually shrinking it. You become even the goblin or even the witch of your own business.
Because even on that, because when I noticed, when you join, because there's something which is called a habit. If you are used to communicate through WhatsApp, when you communicate through email, you think it's a bit awkward.
Yes.
When you communicate through other channels, like these days, very few people communicate through a message, a direct message. So it simply means that it's a habit which you're building. Exactly. And if your company has got a habit of doing everything manually and of probably not even accounting, because at the end of the day, the business is never going to fail today because they're not having your proper accounts.
Yeah.
But you said that it will remain at the same level or it will shrink after some years. But this impact of not doing the right thing right now is going to lead you into a problem.
Exactly.
So still on that, when we're in 2020, 2021, it was a wake-up call for the world. But I think Africa hasn't woken up.
Yeah.
We noticed that, these offices, sometimes you can spend a month without even visiting the offices.
Exactly.
COVID happened.
Yeah.
And we never know whether COVID is man-made or it's natural, but we don't know what they are cooking right now.
Exactly.
So, as companies, do you think they've actually transformed from... I still remember when we were doing business in 2020, what some of the... we were served by a customer relationship management software. Because we managed to, I think when the president declared the first 21 days shut down, no one is supposed to get into town.
Yeah.
We left all our offices, but we went home with our gadgets. But the advantage was we had our CRM. So everyone would communicate through the CRM. Our salespeople were working from home, and we deployed everyone. And we managed to actually conquer. We managed to survive during COVID-19, and we even come out stronger. Do you think companies have actually fully embraced? They've now noticed that sometimes we don't need to be on one place for us to start working together. Do you think businesses have embraced technology after having an impact of COVID-19? Some people left their servers in the offices.
Yeah.
Which simply means that server now is no longer working. Yeah.
You know what? I strongly believe we act more like, patients. You only follow doctor's instructions when you are in pain.
Exactly.
Once that pain is away, you go back to your old habits.
Exactly.
That's what exactly we are doing here. Many people, they actually struggled, and a lot of companies, they actually closed during the COVID era. And for a fact, there are also even companies that made a lot of money during the COVID era because they actually had systems that they invested in. They embraced technology. They were able to work and reach everywhere. You know what? Even before I even get to answer that, right now we've got Kenyans. I'll give you an example. Who are actually even bombarding our own economy. They're actually doing business from Kenya, implementing solutions for people who are here in Zimbabwe, because they are able to embrace technology. They can be able even to expand into different markets without necessarily opening in office, in that a physical office rather. We've got people actually maintaining virtual offices, and they're doing very well because they have got minimal administration cost that they are also exposed to. So it's the same thing that is actually supposed to be done here. You don't necessarily need to even expand and have physical offices for you to actually say no for prestige reasons. You know what? I'm in Zambia.
I'm in South
Africa. I'm in
Kenya.
Uganda. I'm in Rwanda. I've got physical offices there. You can actually do business with people who are in UK as we speak.
Don't necessarily being in UK.
In UK, and making a lot of money without a lot of administration costs that are involved. So, if COVID is to come back again, I'll tell you for a fact, a lot of companies, they're going down again because they don't want to embrace in technology. They think that they have to be physically there for them to actually do business. They think that we have to be able to shake hands to cement a deal. But we can actually cement a deal. Right now, we can even sign documents through e-signing.
Which will make us paperless offices.
Paperless offices. But right now, you get to an office of an executive, a document is actually misplaced, people are busy, and you end up even saying, no, you know what, accounting guys, you can stop whatever you're doing. Let's come and search for this paper, and it's nowhere to be found because people are relying more on those physical files, papers, and everything. But with this technology, guys, that is coming in, I don't necessarily need to be here. Jerry, you know what? I can actually make a requisition here. You can approve or you can decline. I can actually even apply for a leave from wherever I am. You can approve or you can decline. That's technology. That's where it's actually taking us. So we just have to embrace it. And definitely, trust me, when you embrace it, you actually get to see that you're actually depriving that growth your company actually deserves.
Now walk me through.
Yeah.
I'm a small company. I've started my company. I want to operate. Probably it's construction.
Yeah.
How do you guys help me, or how do I know? Well, like what we said, most of the people is because of ignorance.
Yeah.
People, they don't know that you can have a system which is going to act as an attendance register.
Yes.
We can have a system which can help you to manage your fleet, to remind you when insurance is due, to remind you when internet needs to be paid, to also use your calendar. We don't know how to use our electronic calendars. Do you think it's still necessary for us to print calendars? Let us talk about that as well.
New Year calendars.
I've noticed Africa, and someone is actually super excited when they're given a calendar. Do you think people they are supposed to use calendars?
Not even. It's no longer even necessary, Right now, you've got people who are even working haphazardly because they don't even have calendars. You have people marking in those desk calendars.
Marking everything.
Marking everything. There's no need for that. You can actually have your own virtual calendar. And the good thing is it gets to organize even your own work. It gives you even your schedule for the day itself. Ranking everything by high priority. I'm not supposed to meet this. And it even gets to give you reminders
of what needs to be done.
Instead of just writing. Even if as much as I can write, I'll never get a reminder. Imagine right now you're talking to 20, 50 clients
50 clients per day.
You are writing everything.
50 meetings.
In a day, someone is going to give you a different response. Call me on Monday. Someone says, send me an email on Tuesday. Someone, let's meet on Friday. You are writing everything in a notebook. Definitely, you're not going to get a reminder from the notebook. And even the worst comes to the worst, you might actually misplace, or someone might actually even take that notebook. And you get
or probably you're at home, but you want to do business, or because we don't need to be in office for you to do business.
Exactly. You don't necessarily need to be in business. Even through your mobile phone, you can actually do business.
Yeah. Now, let us now quickly get to the how.
Right.
How am I supposed to be, as a small entrepreneur, you guys, when you come to my company, are you guys who are actually going to give me whatever I want? Or you guys are going to scrutinize through my system and you do more like an audit, checking whatever, how I communicate, how I run my fleet, how I run my production, and you guys are going to recommend certain softwares which are going to make my life easier, whereby I can run my company from a mobile phone, and I can see whatever is happening as much as I can see the cameras running. But there's no way. I'm a critic of cameras. Why? Because when you start watching all your employees on cameras, it simply means that you are now a security guard. You see, being a CEO,
Exactly.
because you're going to spend the whole day. Because the camera, there's no way someone can spend 24 hours watching cameras. It's impossible.
And you're consuming time for strategic thinking.
So I'm saying, take me through the process of
the how part.
At the how part.
Thank you. So you know what? As we don't really necessarily act like pharmacists. You know what? You just get into a pharmacy, I want a brufen. No one even bothered to ask you, why do you need a brufen? They'll just say it's $1 and you're given a brufen. Whether it's going to work for you, whether probably it's a headache, is it a symptom or is the actual problem? But when we get to our vision is to assist companies, right? Setting up these systems for them to become timeless businesses. Because we are looking when we get to your organization, we get to understand more about the business, even from the vision itself, what you want to achieve at the end of the day. You look at your own process flows. Before we talk about recommending anything, we talk about even those internal controls, leakages that are even happening within the process flows itself. Then we look at even the people that are there, because we cannot even run away from the people who are going to be using this system, because they need also to be there for the system to be successful. So we look at the people that you do even have. Do they have even the capacity to run the system, or they need some sort of training, or we need to actually even assort someone coming in as well for the system to actually run successfully. So we get to look at the whole system, the whole organization, before we get to recommend something. And you know what? With systems, it's more like a medical aid or a funeral policy. You don't usually see its importance until something happens.
Exactly.
Yes. So you might not get the consequences or feel the pain right now. But probably after 2 or so years of hard work, then you just wake up one day, everything is gone.
You start from afresh.
You start from afresh. You'll be
That's
lucky.
why if you're going to start.
You'll be lucky even if you start afresh.
Yeah.
So you get to look at a situation that someone you actually even die with the organization because something has actually happened. So you don't necessarily need to be up there for you to actually invest in system. Start investing now in system. Take those baby steps, plugging in everything until we come up with a perfect system. You grow with the system. That's what you just need to be doing. So it's more like investing in your own medical aid. You're investing in a generational wealth through this system, because when you're getting into a system, in a business, you're actually looking at a situation where you want to safeguard even generational wealth. You would want even this business to progress beyond your own existence. But that can only happen when you invest in business systems and actually remove the notion where everything is centered in your brain.
So as your parting shot, in terms of what do you encourage, what do you have to say to all the entrepreneurs who are out there who think probably systems are expensive, who also think that probably you need to invest millions for you to get softwares? What is your parting shot to those people, and how can they also get in touch with you in terms of organizing their company, making sure that their systems are flawless, and you can also help them build what you call timeless businesses?
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So for all the entrepreneurs that are out there, I appreciate your hard work. But all that hard work will be in vain if you don't invest in system. You end up dying with your visions. They won't live for the next generation to even enjoy the hard work. So systems and these business systems that we're talking about, they are not expensive. What's more expensive is not having them. Because you're looking at a situation, sometimes we don't really even calculate. That's why even we have decisions that are being done haphazardly within the organization. We don't have the information. We don't have tools even to analyze the data.
We're living in the dark.
We're just living in the dark. As long as you see some cash, you think you're making money. But sometimes you're losing $100 per day. It might be small per day, but you're looking at sometimes you're even opening 7 days per week. That's 700 per week.
Exactly.
To one person, you're losing that. and you end up even paying $300 on top of the 700. It's not even 700, boss per week is 700 times 4. Then you add the salary again. And look, imagine if you are paying 2-3 people who are doing that to your own organization. It becomes more even expensive than having business systems. So sometimes we might think that it's more expensive to invest in systems. But you're looking at a situation, how many years are you going to actually get to invest and get the returns? It's not a one-day thing. It's actually something that you're going to use even for 10 or so years. And if you have to actually look at the returns from that investment, it will actually definitely outweigh the initial investment.
That's great.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming here. Thank you so much. Thank you, our viewers. Thank you, our audience. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting this podcast. As you can hear, it's so expensive not to build business systems. You want to grow. You want generational wealth. Invest in business systems. Make sure that your business will thrive, will survive beyond you. Even it is to run whilst you're at a funeral, it is to run whilst you're out of the country. But you can also see, you can also peep in and see whatever is happening in your business whilst you're in China, whilst you're in the States. So you are supposed to be part of this vision of transforming Africa. So remember, ask your neighbor, ask your friend, ask your family member to also subscribe on this podcast, which is also educating to transform and change the mindsets of Africans. Africans who are in Togo, Africans who are in Kenya, Africans who are in Malawi, Africans who are in Zimbabwe. We thank you so much for subscribing. We thank you so much for watching. Until next time, is your boy Jerry Nyazungu, the chartered vendor, out.
At M&J, our vision is to build timeless businesses that will last from generation to generation. We achieve this through our consultancy and technological solutions, which effectively address legal, HR, sales, accounting, and marketing issues. Our goal is to provide tailor-made services that solve your business challenges and ensure continuous growth.